Supreme Court heard some arguments today on whether fining homeless people who sleep outside may violate the 8th Amendment. Now, this case is out of Oregon, but Topekans and others in cities around our nation are struggling with homelessness, and they're watching this particular case very closely. 13's Claire Decatur is here to break down the legality of the case.
This debate backs to 2018 in Grant Pass, Oregon, when the city passed a law banning homeless people from camping in their town.
I think it's clear that homelessness is a problem. I just don't know that the 8th Amendment is the way you deal with that.
The Supreme Court discussed Monday whether fining people who violate a camping ordinance can be considered a cruel and unusual punishment.
The argument is that if what you're basically doing is punishing someone for sleeping outside when there are not shelters for them to sleep in, that is, basically they have to sleep outside. What you're really doing is punishing the status of homelessness.
The discussion comes from a 1962 Supreme Court decision, the Robinson versus California case.
What the Supreme Court said was it's also cruel and unusual punishment to punish a status.
So the argument that's now before the court builds on that case and argues that being unhoused or lacking a home, that's a status.
Many communities across Kansas have imposed camping ordinances as they try to tackle homelessness. Experts say camping itself isn't the issue here.
The problem that you run into, and this is the nature of the case that's before the United States Supreme Court, in fact, that was heard today, has to do with ticketing people for the offense of sleeping in public. Right, or camping on public lands. And so that's really been the kind of the big focus.
Topeka's new camping ordinance imposes a fine up to $499 for violations. We reached out to the Topeka Rescue Mission for their take on the Supreme Court case. Executive Director Lamanda Broyles said without immediate intervention strategies or long-term solutions, both positions imposing fines or abandoning them altogether are short-sighted and potentially harmful. The court expects to have the official decision by the end of June.